Hello everybody, welcome into another lesson. Today we are going to solve two-step variable equations. So now that I've said that, you're probably asking, what is a two-step variable equation? Well, I'll give you an example here and we'll go from there. So say we have something like 3x plus 1 equals 7. Well, all of a sudden now we have elements of both addition and subtraction and multiplication and division in the same equation with a variable. How do we solve these type? So we have 3x plus 1 equals 7. First thing you want to do is treat the 3x like the variable. You'll want to get the 3x by itself. In order to get 3x by itself, you have plus 1, you need to minus 1. So you'll have 3x plus 1, so you'll minus 1. You set that equal to 7 minus 1. Since you subtracted 1 from the left side, you got to do it to the right. So on the left side, 1 minus 1 is 0. You'll just be left with 3x. Set that equal to, what's 7 minus 1? That's 6. Now you're left down with 3x equals 6. Well, the goal now is to get x by itself. We have 3x, so we need to divide by 3. But what you do to one side, you got to do to the other. So the 3's cancel out on the left. You're just left with x by itself. X is equal to 6 divided by 3, which is 2. So the answer for x in this case is 2. And if you want to check it, you could put the value of x back into the original equation, put 2 in for x, and you would get a true statement on both sides. So that's just something you can do if you so choose. But let's do another one. How about 5x minus 4 equals 11? Alright, so we got 5x minus 4 equals 11. Well, the goal first to get 5x by itself. You have a minus 4, so you need to do a plus 4 in order to get rid of that minus 4. So you'll have 5x minus 4 plus 4 is equal to 11 plus 4, because what you do to one side, you got to do to the other. So negative 4 plus 4 is 0. You're just left with 5x by itself. You'll have 5x is equal to, what's 11 plus 4? 15. Alright, so 5x equals 15. Now, of course, we have that 5x. We just want to get x by itself. You have times 5, so you need to divide by 5. But what you do to one side, you got to do to the other. So now the 5's will cancel on the left-hand side. You'll just be left with x is equal to, what's 15 divided by 5? 3. So the answer to this is x equals 3. And yeah, these really aren't too bad. They may look intimidating at first, but if you can just understand that you gotta get the variable that has some multiple on it by itself first, and then you get rid of that multiple and solve for the variable itself, it's not so bad. Alright, how about this one? 4h plus 6 equals 22. So we have 4h plus 6 equals 22. Well, goal is get 4h by itself. So we have plus 6. We need to do minus 6 to get rid of that 6. So you'll do 4h plus 6 minus 6 is equal to 22 minus 6, because what you do to one side, you got to do to the other. So 6 minus 6, that's just 0. You'll be left with 4h by itself. What's 22 minus 6? That's 16. So now you just have 4h equals 16. The goal is to get h by itself. Well, we have 4 times h, which means we need to divide by 4. But we'll have to do it to the other side too. So the 4's cancel out on the left-hand side. You'll just be left with h is equal to 16 divided by 4. Well, that's just 4. So h would equal 4 in this case. Okay, what do we got here? How about, well, we got 3 plus t over 2 is equal to 35. 3 plus t over 2 equals 35. First things first, do yourself a favor, switch the 3 and t over 2 around, because by the commutative property you can do that. So you'll have t over 2 plus 3 is equal to 35. Now that t over 2 could be rewritten as 1/2 of t plus 3 is equal to 35. Okay, so the goal here first is to get 1/2 t by itself. Well, we have plus 3. That means we need to minus 3 to get the 1/2 t by itself. So you'll do 1/2 t plus 3 minus 3 equals 35 minus 3, because what you do to one side you got to do to the other. So 3 minus 3 is 0. You'll just be left with 1/2 t by itself. That'll equal, what's 35 minus 3? That's 32. So now we got 1/2 t equals 32. So we have times 1/2 t. In order to get rid of that 1/2 and make t by itself, we need to multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal of 1/2 is 2. So, but what you do to one side, you got to do to the other. So on the left side, the 2's will cancel out. You'll just be left with t is equal to, what's 32 times 2? 64. So the value of t in this equation is 64. So we started out, of course, I'll recap this problem. We had 3 plus t over 2 equals 35. We used the commutative property to switch the terms around on the left-hand side, and then we rewrote the fact that t over 2 is 1/2 times t, plus 3 equals 35. Then I got rid of that positive 3 by subtracting 3. We got 1/2 t by itself, and then it gave us 32 on the right-hand side. But in order to get rid of the 1/2 t, we had to multiply by the reciprocal. Reciprocal of 1/2 is 2. So we multiplied both sides by 2. On the left side, the 2's cancel out. You were left with t by itself. And then 32 times 2 is 64. So t is 64. I got more. What do we have here? All right, we have 13 plus p over 3 equals -4. So 13 plus p over 3 equals -4. Well, of course, we can use the commutative properties to rewrite this so the variable comes first, which would just be p over 3 plus 13 equals -4. Now that p over 3 we can rewrite as 1/3 p. 1/3 p plus 13 equals -4. Okay? So far I've used the commutative to switch 13 and p over 3. You can use the commutative property of addition to do that. You'll get the same thing. Then I use the fact that p over 3 is the same as 1/3 times p. So far that's where we're at in the process. Now the next goal is to get that 1/3 p by itself. Well, we have plus 13 here on the left side. Well, we need to, in order to get the 1/3 p by itself, we have plus 13. We need to minus 13 to get rid of it. So next you'll have 1/3 p plus 13 minus 13 is equal to -4, but you got to do it to the right side since you did it to the left. So you'll have -4 minus 13. Well, 13 minus 13 on the left is 0. You'll just be left with 1/3 p by itself. 1/3 p equals, was negative 4 minus 13? No, that's negative 17. Okay? So we have 1/3 p equals negative 17. But we want to get p by itself. Well, let's multiply by 1/3. What we need to do is multiply the 1/3 by the reciprocal to get p by itself. The reciprocal of 1/3 is 3. So you multiply both sides by 3. On the left side, the 3's cancel out. You're just left with p is equal to negative 17 times 3. That's negative 51. That would be your answer. P is equal to negative 51. So, really not much to these. Let's see if I could do one more of each here. Let's see if I could do that. Now let's do one more fraction one. So we have 8 equals c over negative 3 plus 15. So 8 equals c over negative 3 plus 15. Well, since these are equal, we can just switch these around to put the variable on the left-hand side, and we'll get the same result. You get c over negative 3 plus 15 equals 8. You can just simply switch them around. Now we can use the fact that, well, first we have the negative sign in the denominator. We can switch it to the numerator. So you'd have negative c over 3 plus 15 equals 8. Now we can use the fact that we have negative c over 3 is the same as negative 1/3 times c plus 15 equals 8. So far I've just switched them around, the equation around, to make it the same equality. It's just the variables on the left-hand side. Then I took that negative sign from the denominator, I moved it into the numerator. Because you can do that, you'll get the exact same result. Putting it in the numerator makes life a lot easier. And then I use the fact that 1/3, so that c over 3 is the same as 1/3 times c, just happen to have the negative sign. So you have negative 1/3 times c plus 15 equals 8. Of course, we want to get that negative 1/3 c by itself. So we have plus 15. We need to do minus 15 in order to make the negative 1/3 c be by itself. So we have negative 1/3 c plus 15 minus 15 equals 8 minus 15. Because what you do to one side, you got to do to the other. Alright, so 15 minus 15 is 0. That just leaves negative 1/3 c by itself. That's going to equal 8 minus 15. That's negative 7. So we got negative 1/3 c equals negative 7. Now we want to get c by itself, right? We have negative 1/3, so in order to get c by itself, we need to multiply by the reciprocal of negative 1/3, which in this case would just be negative 3. Negative 3 is the reciprocal, but what you do to one side, you got to do to the other. So in this case, since you have a negative times a negative, the negative signs will cancel out, the 3's will cancel out. You'll just be left with c is equal to negative 7 times negative 3. That would be positive 21. Alright, so and I guarantee you if we put 21 in, we would get the left side equaling the right hand side. So c equals 21 for this. So really that's all there is to it. It's kind of it just combines the elements of the past two lessons together. Of course, always try to get your variable term by itself first, whether it's multiplied by a number or divided by a number. Get that variable term by itself first. Then, depending upon what you have, do your multiplication and division to cancel out that factor times the variable to get the variable by itself, and then that's really all there is to it. So the next lesson is going to be a little bit of some word problems. We're going to learn how to interpret from written in plain English to two-step variable word problems. So I hope everybody has a good day, and take care.